we simply built things that, because we were so customer focused, we identify the problems or the challenges first. And it allows us to really orient our solution accordingly.
Salt security, you've done very well. You're scaling well. You're defining the category. You've raised 280 million, including from top name investors. And I think maybe more importantly, you have a long list of customers that you're bringing real impact to. When did you know that? What was the moment when you realized, our approach is working? And what is it that you realized is working that makes you stand out in the market?
Yeah, it's like the cynical side of me is saying it's working, and then you break it, and then it's working. Like every stage of the company, you learn, like you adjust, adapt yourself, and the market is changing and evolving. By the way, it's not static. So, but if I'll take like the serious answer of, okay, what's really set us apart in the market? I think in a very high level, we are very, very customer focused. I think like a lot of companies talk about it, but they don't practice it. So when we are going to partner with someone, and I say partner on purpose, not selling to someone, we put a focus of how we created a successful API security program, where our solution is a big component of it, but it's not the only part. It's how you implement it, how you onboard, how you operationalize it within their ecosystem, how you make it easy for them to see the value from your solution. And if you think about that, you need to structure your company accordingly. You have to have the right teams, the right expertise for it. We have security research team. It's not mandatory, but if you want to define to detect the latest and greatest threats, you have to research up front,
of course,
right? If you want to innovate. So there's a lot of things you need to put a lot of investments. But if you think about just on sending a solution, it's not required. But if you're thinking about kind of growing a big company, you need to put that in place. Now, if I go a level below, from a product perspective, we simply built things that, because we were so customer focused, we identify the problems or the challenges first. And it allows us to really orient our solution accordingly. So for example, we have today the fastest way to discover APIs. Like you can literally in minutes, if you have AWS account or a cloud account, I can give you our platform, you can connect to it tomorrow, like instantly, and get already value and things you need to fix.
Yep.
Where other companies have more complex, I would say, like process there of deploying traffic collection, and so like a lot of complexities. We and the last point I will make, like posture governance, we mentioned it a lot. Like, where are you missing locks in open windows? Every company in the space tells you, here's an engine, build it yourself, build whatever you want yourself. You want to build this governance, like open windows, you need to define it, and so on and so forth. We said, let's build a policy hub. Let's create an app store. So instead of they build, like each company needs to build it, and it's 80% the same. We will give you a policy hub. You can click to apply it. So a lot of things like that we just made it easy for them to reduce risk for their APIs. It sounds simple, but there's a lot of nuances and complexity to how you make a problem or the solution very simple to solve.
There is, and I actually think that's a really interesting point, right? Like, there's a ton of complexity that sits behind simplicity, but I love where you're going. I'm going to articulate this so poorly, but there is a statement that's been resonating with me for a very long time, right? That is, if you can't predict what's going to happen in the future, like with precision, and it's impossible. You cannot predict what the next security gap or API vulnerability or bug that's discovered is. What can you do? You can prepare. So what I hear is, it sounds like you're giving a kind of a preparation template and support services along with your product and technology to say, like, how do our customers have confidence that they are well prepared from both a defensive but also a response perspective? Is that poorly said, but is that a fair articulation?
Yeah, I think it's like hitting the point. But it's also, I think the other part is we orient, talking about company building, we put the incentives and goals aligned to the customer goals. So for example, if you look at our customer success teams, their goal is not just, hey, retention of customers. It's the usage.
Yep.
how many attackers they've blocked, how many vulnerabilities they fixed. That's the main KPI. Because we know if somebody blocking attacks and fixing vulnerabilities, they see value. If not, it means something blocked them. Maybe it's not connecting to their ticketing system. Maybe they need some education on how to fix something, whatever it is. But we want to align always our interest and how we measure ourselves and put goals for people in the company that aligns to the customer interest.